Welcome to Business Class, a podcast for people wanting to upgrade their thinking, upgrade their learning, and upgrade their life. I'm your host, Eugenia Panderhos, founder of Business Class Collective, best-selling author, and life coach. If you're an entrepreneur, a startup, or someone who dreams of reaching their full potential, then you're in the right place. You'll feel empowered and inspired to design the life you've always wanted. Let's do this. Hello and welcome back. It's so lovely to have you here. This week we're going to be talking about improving performance with strategic breaks. You might remember that in episode 8, titled Becoming a Boundary Queen, we discussed how interruptions to our workday can wreak havoc and that it's up to us to set healthy boundaries. In today's episode, we are discussing strategic breaks, the ones you take on your terms to improve outcomes and to become more creative. There's a difference. When you're working in a flow state on a task or project and your ideas are flowing freely, you feel great. I know I do. You keep working through, and as you keep chipping away, you then suddenly find that you're not feeling great. You've hit a wall, a roadblock, and your thinking is no longer laser focused. Productivity has dropped. You can't focus and you begin to feel irritable. We all know what that feels like to be stuck on a problem. We ruminate as it goes round and round our head, increasing frustration and obliterating enthusiasm. So you try to push through. You leave your desk and go put the kettle on, so sure and confident, and with fingers crossed while you make a wish that when you return to the task, you'll be able to smash your way through. Sometimes that works, but oh no, not on this occasion. This is when we need a different sort of break. Our prefrontal cortex is responsible for executive decisions, logical thinking, concentration, and willpower. It's not a coincidence that when we are feeling frustrated, we tend to rub this area of our head or place a hand there to support it. It's crying out for a circuit breaker. Why have we hit a wall? What's changed, you ask? Well, quite simply, our brain has not been designed to focus on tasks for any great length of time, and all we truly need is a break, a reset, a circuit breaker, a breath of fresh air. It sounds so simple, yet this one important act is often overlooked. Scheduling in short mental breaks when faced with long tasks, such as studying before an exam or working on that project that requires so much from you, will help you to work better, concentrate better, and to have better outcomes. It is best to impose brief breaks that will not only help you stay focused, but also help you to retain and process information. Recently, my daughter was finishing up her university assignments and preparing for exams. I watched as she came to play with her cat while she was waiting for the kettle to boil, how she nourished her body with nutrient-rich food, kept hydrated, how she sat outside to take in some sun and boosting herself with vitamin D as she sipped her morning green smoothie, and took breaks during the day for exercise and stretching, and at other times playing the piano or guitar. Many of these choices were part of her every day, and others were organic, but they all helped her to cope with her extended study period. So together they provided the edge she needed to maintain her health and wellness as she was studying and working during this period of great focus. She benefited from the much needed reset she experienced during the day with multiple short and enjoyable breaks. On another note, have you ever noticed that some of your greatest problem solving or creative ideas actually happen when you're driving or on a walk or taking a shower? I know I've had some of my most creative ideas when I'm doing something else. It's like I get this sudden brainwave or eureka moment, and if I'm lucky, I get to jot it down or type into notes on my phone. These breakthroughs occur when we are relaxed and when we've shifted our focus. And what we get in return is the benefit of gaining valuable insights or solutions that seem to have escaped our thinking when we were deep in the trenches. Stepping away allows us to process things, create a distance mentally for our brains to have a reset and a rest from the task at hand. A Harvard Business Review article explains that breaks help us to reevaluate our goals and not to get lost in the weeds. Having a scheduled intermission and then returning to a task where we left off forces us to take a few moments to think about what we are ultimately trying to achieve. It encourages us to stay mindful of our objective. We can become more creative in our thinking by consciously inserting breaks to refresh our minds, to create a lasting reset. Get out of your physical space by taking a walk. The change of scenery can cause a powerful refresh. If you're musically minded, play an instrument for a few bars. It will help you to get out of your head. Or visit a local cafe, museum, art gallery, and change up your scenery. Be inspired to welcome creative solutions. Take an cappuccino, make your favourite coffee, and then take a lay down. The caffeine will arouse you after around 20 minutes. Crank up your favourite song and do a dance off, or daydream, meditate, and go within. Do this unapologetically. There's absolutely no reason to feel guilty about taking a break. It's been scientifically proven that taking a break helps us to regain our focus, sharpness, and motivation. So step away from your workspace and take that walk, stop for lunch, take in the fresh air, and experience the sun on your face and the wind in your hair. You'll be more effective, more efficient, and more engaged. So just to be clear though, when we're talking about taking a strategic break, there are some things that you do not constitute an effective or desired break, and they are, and I'm sure you know what they are, it's scrolling through and posting on social media, reading and responding to emails, or surfing the internet. So, how do you choose what break is best for you? Here are some options. So it might be a good time to get a pen and paper and start writing some notes. Firstly, there's the Pomodoro method. This method allows you to work in small bursts. You set a timer for 25 minutes, and when it goes off, you take a short 5-minute break. You stretch or get yourself a drink or sit back and do a little daydreaming off into the distance. If you've taken 4 of these breaks in a day, the next one is a longer break of around 30 minutes, and that's a perfect time for a walk around the block. Secondly, there's the 90-minute work blocks. Working in 90-minute intervals maximises productivity and lets you have more time to work on the task at hand. I'm naturally drawn to this way of working as I find I'm more alert and I can work in the productive zone longer and my concentration and output is higher. Research tells us that this is a favourite way of working as it's in sync with our body's natural rhythm. Thirdly, take the 2 15-minute breaks. Enjoy 2 scheduled breaks in your day, one in the mid-morning and one in the middle of the afternoon, either side of your lunch break. Strategic breaks will increase the quality of your work. You actually force yourself to take time to reevaluate what you're doing and to pivot and adjust accordingly rather than getting stuck and lost in the finer details. Taking strategic breaks also requires a certain level of awareness and mindfulness around how it feels when you're working in the flow state compared to feeling uneasy, tired, fidgety, and being without clarity. There is no need to stick to just one style of the breaks I've mentioned earlier. Become the curator of your life and take a break just for you and just when you need it. As the entrepreneur and CEO of your life, this is your reminder that you're never too busy to take a break. Yet more often than not, breaks take a back seat. You may feel that you're being productive working long, uninterrupted hours, day in and day out, but the truth is it's affecting your productivity, performance, and well-being. So take the energy boosting and mind resetting break now, and you can do this by socializing, have lunch with friends, speak with a colleague, chat with a co-worker by the coffee maker, or get creative and allow time to daydream, set a new goal, or learn something new. Move and mix it up by taking a walk or exercise indoors, connect with nature or a streetscape, change your environment, do a small chore, read something inspirational, and doodle. Then you can nurture and nourish by meditating, taking a power nap, drinking a coffee or tea, have a healthy snack to feed the brain, listen to music. If you're at home, take a bath or run a shower. And remember to refresh your eyes for about 20 seconds, looking and gazing out about 20 feet away after every 20 minutes of work. These are some great ways to improve your performance and schedule in those strategic breaks. So I hope that you've enjoyed this podcast and that you take the time to press the reset button in your life. Until next time. You've been listening to Business Class presented by Eugenia Panterhouse, founder of Business Class Collective. If you haven't yet, go to Apple Podcast, subscribe, rate and review this podcast. Share the love and let your family and friends know too. You can follow Business Class Collective on Instagram and Facebook. Join me next time.